Openpilot 0.5.4 using the community build for Kia Sorento 2018. So I've dropped everything off at Melbourne on my first stop. Now I'm on to my second. So I was able to enable it pretty early on this basic little road, and there was a few little points of interest. So we'll speed up the video so that we skip through all the boring stuff, but that way you can still see the steering. Now this corner up here, it couldn't make it. You see, I ran out of torque and I had to steer it. I had to grab the steering wheel and yank it. Now the other direction, it didn't quite do it either, but you can see it did a little bit better. Now it's worth noting how far that steering wheel could make at that particular speed. Now up here we got another couple corners, and you can see it steered fine. Go the other direction and it also steered fine. It did it by itself. I was obviously cautious, but yeah, it didn't have a problem. And that's basically just how sharp the corner is and how fast. The slower we go, the sharper it can turn. Now it did turn a little bit sharp there, which was why it corrected, where it didn't have that issue in this direction. So whether that was tuning or Openpilot, I'm not exactly sure. And so we'll just look at how it drove here, cut onto the freeway, and you can see that apart from lane changes, it did fine. Now, when I took this exit, because I'm travelling so fast, it actually ran out of torque again. So you see that we're coming along here, not enough torque. I grabbed it and helped it, and it was able to hold that position. It thought it was steering too sharp, it let go, it couldn't steer back, so I had to help it again. So this doesn't quite have enough torque at this speed. And as you've seen earlier, it can turn the steering wheel further. It's just a matter of how fast you're going and how much torque you have available. So as I enter this tunnel, I'm going to cut over to the audio that I recorded, which is basically going on about touching the steering wheel while we're driving. And if I were to have my hand sitting here, I'm not actually steering. My hands here just...
GPS signal lost.
In order to catch it if something does go wrong a little bit quicker. So little bits of force that you give this isn't going to affect its steering at all. Like there's the torque sensor first, and you got to be above, like it's a torsion bar, so you got to twist it above that before you even get to the wheels anyway. So even little knocks like this isn't going to the car, not going to the wheels. But the sensors are ready, and the sensor's seeing that I'm doing this, so it's resetting the timer on how long until I have to touch the wheel again, which like I said in other videos is 5 minutes, plenty long enough. It doesn't need to be shorter than that, and doesn't want to be longer than that. 5 minutes I believe is about the right number. So we're steering around here, and like I said, if I rest my hand on here, when we straighten up, you'll see, even though just for the point, I'm resting my hand on there, so you can see that it's enough to turn the steering wheel a little bit. So I'll rest my hand on here, and when you see we go to the straight, it's still going to straighten it up, because I'm not supplying enough torque to cancel out what it's doing. And see, it still steers back. So there is no reason you can't drive with your hands on your wheels with this system. You're not going to affect it. If anything, for a lot of people, that's probably how they should be driving, is sitting there with their hands on the wheel. I can feel the corner coming up, and it steers for me. I'm not steering the corner, it's steering the corner. Now, maybe you'd like to rest your hands here. Personally, I like them on my legs. If it goes wrong, bang, caught it, it's fine. So you can see that you don't need to take your hands off the steering wheel. You can leave them there. There's no reason to take them off if you don't want to, and if you're not feeling comfortable with the system, definitely. My wife, she did a good 2,000 kilometers in the car before she started taking her hand off the steering wheel. And you know what? I never told her otherwise for it. I asked her, was she steering, because I didn't want her steering the car. I wanted to know if it was doing something wrong when I was a passenger seat, but the answer was always no. No, she wasn't steering. It takes time to trust the system, and even then, when it starts to do something wrong, I let it go a little bit further than perfect before I grab it. She doesn't the moment that it's slightly wrong, so she'll touch the steering wheel 3 times as much as me because of lack of trust in the system, and there's nothing at all wrong with that. And to be honest, that is what you should be doing. So I've done my drop off, and I've done a pickup, and I'm heading back. So the main purpose of this was to show how well this is steering in this port, and how 0.5.4 works. So please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing more videos soon, and I'm going to start explaining how my setup works and a bit more on how Openpilot works. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.